So you died before, but you don't remember. This video is for literally everybody in the world, but mainly anybody who's been on a spiritual journey and anybody who's been getting a lot of deja vu. I'm also going to keep this video short, but if you have more questions about this after watching, let me know. For one, let me define what it means to die before. What I mean by dying before is reincarnation. I understand that a lot of people have theories, but I can guarantee you that reincarnation is a thing. It is not something that you can choose either. But it's more to it than just becoming a bird. You see, the way that you died before was this. Assuming that you have a soul and you're watching this video, eventually you think that you're going to die, right? So what happens is that you do die. Then what? Do you go to hell? Do you go to heaven? My answer to that is, even if you did, you're going to come back. And the way that you come back is that you have to understand consciousness. Consciousness cannot be destroyed. It only transfers. Since consciousness only transfers, when you die, your consciousness is operating on the fourth dimension. Time does not exist on the fourth dimension. Since time does not exist on the fourth dimension, that means that at a certain point, your consciousness has to come back to this moment. Even this moment of you watching this video, you eventually is going to have to come back to this based off the fourth dimension because time doesn't exist. So when you die, all it is that your awareness of this moment is gone. But eventually you're going to have to come back. And that's why if you get deja vu, if you don't worry. But if you get deja vu, that's why you get deja vu. You get deja vu because you're remembering what happened in this moment as consciousness, not as a human. You're not coming back as a human, but you're coming back as energy or consciousness, if you want to differentiate the two. Now, everybody has a lot of theories on why it happens, but to keep it very simple on why it happens, I'm gonna ask you one question. What is 0 divided by 0? You would think that you can't divide nothing, correct? The only problem is that when you do divide nothing, you have to get something. And that something is separation. And that something is one separation. And that separation can be defined as something in between nothing. Meaning, if we and everything that exists as something, did something ever choose to exist? To that answer, I have to say no, because 9 times out of 10, you didn't choose to exist on this planet. Even if you say that you chose your parents, some people say that you're a person that says that, at the end of the day, can you really say that that was you? So to answer the question on why it happens because of the nature of the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension, time does not exist in the fourth dimension. Since time does not exist, that means that everything is happening on the fourth dimension. If you don't want to call it that, you can say the spiritual plane. If you don't want to call it that, you can say the timeline. Everything in the timeline is happening on the higher dimension. Therefore, a loop is inevitable, meaning your existence is inevitable, meaning Earth is inevitable, meaning you watching this video is inevitable. Anything that happened is inevitable. It's going to happen no matter what. There are theories about how it's happening, such as Nazism, but even when you take out the theories, by science, it cannot be defied. You will come back, meaning you have died before, especially the people who get deja vu. That means that your consciousness is very strong when it comes to this dying before. Now, moving on, the next question would be, why should you care about life then, if everything is just going to happen again? To that, I say this. If this moment is inevitable, right? Inevitable can be determined to fate. Now, fate can be determined to conviction. Because if you know something is going to happen, we can all say that if God didn't believe he couldn't make the earth, then he wouldn't be able to make the earth, correct? Because he would be too scared. But if God knows he can make the earth, that's why we're here. The same goes for you. If you know you can do something and then you do it, then it happens. It was inevitable. If you know you're going to die and you have no choice, it's inevitable. If you know you're going to live, it's inevitable. If you know you're going to be rich, it's inevitable, right? Like what you know is inevitable because of your conviction in it. That's how manifestation and materialization works. Coming back to the topic of the video, the reason why you should care about your existence is that since you have no choice, you might as well make a productive choice. So say that you decide, you know what? I want to be a murderer today. The problem with that is that since you died and came back before, and that this moment is inevitable and it's looping over and over, you as a consciousness who is remembering and observing and being aware of this whole thing, you're going to have to experience it again. And I know most people, they're going to go to their trauma when I say this, but understand that if you're watching this video, you have an opportunity to change that because it's your choice now. You have the choice to get out of that. Yes, your choices are inevitable, which it starts to get messy here, but just to focus on the point of why. If you made a decision and you know that your decision will be looped for infinity, what decision would you make? And that's all it comes down to. So while when it comes to this cycle, you didn't choose to be here, I didn't choose to be here. At the end of the day, my conviction made me choose to make this video. And now you know about this. And now I'm giving you the awareness to make better decisions based on this system. And the final message I have to say to anybody who's experiencing this and they know what I'm talking about, all I want to say is that live the best you can. At the end of the day, like I said, no one chose to be here on this earth, and yet some of us had to suffer, some others not. But at the end of the day, whether you suffer or not, you didn't choose to be here. And since you didn't choose to be here, the best you can do is make your being here matter. So understand that your faith, your conviction, what you know and what you believe in when it comes to yourself, your cycle on this earth. Understand that if you're aware and you're a human with a soul, and you're watching this video, you will watch this video countless of times. If you get deja vu, you've already seen this before, so you know what I'm talking about. And so the best thing I can tell you is make the right choices and listen to your intuition. If y'all have any questions or more statements or any comment you want to make about this topic, you can definitely make a comment on this. Thank you for watching. I'm out of here.